Welcome everyone to the first Adelaide Entrepreneurs video interview. This is a new sort of series of video interviews I'm going to be doing with entrepreneurs from Adelaide about sort of what they're doing, how they got started, some of the challenges they're facing, some of the wins they've been having, and this is the very first one, which is also going to go out on the podcast. Now, my guest for this week is Michael Reid, co-founder of the Majoran Distillery co-working space in Adelaide, and also organizer of various events, including what's become fairly popular Silicon Beach Meetup. G'day, Michael. Welcome to this show.
Hey, Nick. Stoked to be here. I'm loving the concept, and it's pretty awesome to kick it off with you. So awesome.
No worries, mate. Good to have you along. Let's get started by how about you just tell us a little bit about yourself, a bit about your background and how you sort of got into this entrepreneurish thing.
How much time do we have?
Give us the quick version.
Yes, the very quick version. So I have done lots of things. I haven't enjoyed most of them. And what I've been doing lately is chartered accounting. What I mean by that was I've done lots of kind of cruddy dead-end jobs, helping grannies in the shower as a carer and that sort of thing. Pretty gross. So I ended up as a chartered accountant. Not a big fan of that either, but it's an excellent skill set to have. You get an appreciation for a balance sheet, which is a pretty good skill. And then last year, was it the start of 2012, kind of about this time, there was a startup weekend that David Trung and Oren Prunken organized, and that just kind of sent me off on a completely different tangent. And the end result was hanging out with Chai and William, and we set up the space, and now things are just kind of ticking along, and we can't wait to kind of just ramp them up.
Awesome. No, that's good. That's fantastic. Now, Oren, I'm going to be hopefully be talking to him later in the podcast. Fantastic. Or on the video show about Startup Weekend. But can you just tell us just briefly about what Startup Weekend is, and sort of how did you hear about it, and what made you want to do the Startup Weekend thing?
Well, so basically, you have to go. When it comes out next, you have to go. It's just the best. It's not easy at all. It's quite challenging, quite hard, but it's the best thing ever. That's my experience. How did I hear about it? That is a good question. I can't remember. Last year, 2012, was supposed to be code year. There was the Code Academy that kicked off 2012, and I'd been chatting to people, and I was sick of accounting, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm going to be a coder. That's the thing. And so somehow that ended up, it's the internet. You find stuff online, and away you go. But I do remember kind of hesitating, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? And all I can say is it's an awesome thing to do. So the weekend itself, what happens is Friday night, people get together and they pitch ideas. Everyone that has an idea just gets up, pitches ideas I've got an idea for an app that you rate public toilets around Australia. Just crazy ass ideas. And then just naturally teams form and they build them, and then there's a handful left, 5 teams left on the Sunday, and then everyone, the teams pitch, and there's a kind of winner declared of the most kind of whoever's kind of proved their concept that this could actually work the furthest, whoever's got the furthest down that road in the weekend. And maybe they have some awesome looking, this last weekend that was in November, guys had put stuff up in the App Store by the end of the weekend, which was just awesome.
Yeah, I was a little bit. I was kind of thinking about going to the last one, and for some reason I decided against it, and now I sort of regret it. But the next one, whenever that is, I think I'll have to sort of jump in there and just, at least see what it's all about and have fun with it. And I've talked to many people who've done it, and they didn't win, but they met some great people out of it, and they're still doing, they formed either companies, or at least they're networking with people and getting
Yeah,
different
yeah,
ideas
yeah.
flowing. So
It just like it gets you in a completely different headspace. Like it speeds, like it's the condensed version of everything in real life. It all happened. Like you just get shat on by all sorts of people who come in and just tear your idea apart. You have to get up and present, which is like always shit scary. So that's cool. And then the whole weekend you're just hanging out with cool people. I guess for me the coolest thing was like I realized I wasn't completely mental. Like there's other people out there with a similar kind of mindset. So that was the
that's
most
nice.
that was kind of the most reassuring thing.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's nice to meet people who are doing similar things to you, as opposed to you
Yeah.
talking to your regular friends who look at you and think, what are you doing? Gotta go get a proper job, you idiot. What are you doing with this
Yeah.
business thing? You're
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
And then you go talk to these people, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm living in this tiny apartment, I got no money, and I'm building these apps, and da 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 da. And it's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, this guy I can relate to. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can I
Yeah.
can understand where you're coming from there. All right, let's talk a little bit more about the Majoran Distillery. How long ago did you guys start that? So first of all, who were the founding
Yeah. Cool.
people that set that up?
So there's William the lawyer, and then Chai Touch, um, and then myself, and we all met at that first startup weekend. Um, uh, so Chai has the kind of tech background, and Chai and I were working on his idea at startup weekend. I had to let mine go, so that was that was the first thing. And then we just through the weekend had met William a couple of times, had a few chats, and then afterwards, like Chai, we had I think there was four of us in the team on the weekend. One was from overseas, so she was going back overseas anyway, and there was this third dude. I think his name's David. But anyway, after the weekend, Chai and I were just amped, and we were like, let's do this shit. And David's a little bit younger, and like he just basically jumped on a plane and went traveling and did all the cool stuff that you should do, like when you're younger. And I hope he's still traveling. I hope he's still out there. I look forward to catching up with him soon. So Chai and I went off, and we went to build our app, and to make a killing. And it was hard, but we had regular kind of Skype chats, and we had regular kind of we stayed kind of on track to a point, and then it got to the point like, how do we kind of take this more seriously? How do we keep it real? We need a kind of dedicated space, and then there was the Tomorrow Studio that the state government had put together a few years ago. By the time we basically found it, it was ramping down. So, so then trying to, oh shit, what do we do now? And that's when we kind of came up with this like nuts idea of, well, let's do it ourselves. And it just, complete nuts idea, but we stuck with it, and we like Chai had his I think it's a former boss of his kind of / friend had his office space that was potentially available. So we checked it out. We kind of did a bit of a blog and put the word out to kind of, there's the Facebook group that had kind of formed around Startup Weekend. Hey dudes, is anyone dumb enough to kind of let's go rent this office together. And away we went in August. We kind of opened the doors in Pulteney Street, and then people it was a really shitty office, and it was the ugliest furniture. We pulled stuff out of Adelaide City Council storage. It was this ugly warehouse that stunk like rat piss. It was gross. We rescued all the chairs that had do not use broken on them. We found office chairs. and we stuck them all in a room, some crappy tables, stuck them all in a room, and got some Wi-Fi, and people actually came back, which kind of spun me out. And they paid money for it. So we pretty quickly kind of sussed out, yeah, this could actually work. Let's go find a decent spot to do it. And by the end of the year, we had found the Grenfell Street place, which needed a little bit of work. We did that with the help of everyone that had kind of formed around the space, a bit of team effort. Like, the whole thing is team effort. Like, Try is an absolute gun. Like, he just doesn't give a crap, and he just goes for it. I feel so happy to be able to be working with Try. Like, he's just a dude. And but like, massive team effort, like, for everyone. Like, all the members helped clean up the space in Grenfell, and then in December 10, I think, we opened our doors, and it's just kind of growing from there.
Yeah, awesome. That, I mean, I can't remember when I first met you guys. Probably at one of the Silicon Beach events
Yeah.
first, which I will talk about in a minute. But when you were sort of thinking of setting up the space and had the idea, were you already aware of co-working spaces interstate and overseas?
Yeah. I guess we were, like, because we kind of were searching around. We found Tomorrow Studios. I guess we were, like, we knew about Fish Burners being awesome, and we knew about kind of Hub Melbourne. Like, I don't know what came first, but in the internet, you find shit pretty quickly, and you get inspired. Like, you get inspired. So yes, we did. We were aware that it is kind of a growing market. I think Try even contacted, like, the Hub organization over in Europe, and we ended up having coffee with some woman that was even more nuts than us. Like, she had, she didn't have anyone else, but she just had this idea of a huge kind of hub style, like, general co-working. We wanted to do tech because we want to hang out with the people that inspire us, and this woman just wanted to open up a general one, like, massive, and we just kind of looked at each other and was like, I hope, like, all the best to her, but she just had no one to do it with, and I don't know where she is now. Hopefully she's not stuck in some dead-end job, and she's doing something she enjoys.
Yeah, dream big and go for it, I guess. It's interesting. There's a few, like, since you guys got set up, there's quite a few co-working spaces been popping up.
Yeah.
It seems all over the place now. So
in Adelaide,
yeah.
Which is
absolutely,
awesome.
it seems like a growing market, as you say, and also not just sort of the tech startup space, which you guys are sort of positioned in, but there's a creative writing, or at least creative sort of space, and there's going to be a new one which is more general, which is the hub one.
So since we opened up, like, we basically popped up on the radar of state government, and we had a few chats with them, because there was the Young Leaders Forum or something. A whole bunch of people young people got in a room and just talked, as you do, and some leaders, I don't know, government type people were in the room, and the purpose was, let's tell the government what young people need to get shit happening in Adelaide, and co-working space was kind of the end result of that. So Chai, William and I get the thing happening, and so soon enough we're kind of sitting across the table from some guys in the department, talking about what we're doing, which is pretty cool. And then, so you hear stuff, and then by the end of the year you hear Hub Melbourne, who are just about to open Hub Sydney, have been invited to come and scope out Hub Adelaide, if that makes any sense at all.
No, that makes perfect sense. So it all seems to be growing and happening now, and as far as I can tell, it sounds like there's no sort of competition, or it's not. You're not.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a competition between the different spaces. It's more
No,
like
no,
a,
no.
or
Yeah,
how can
yeah.
we collaborate and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. Like you say the word co-working to someone in the street or like your mum, and they just kind of stare at you blankly, and you know, like just get a real job. What are you talking about, Michael? You know, uh, but so like the market, the potential for it is, like, you know, huge. The market is very small, and so the more people that come in, especially kind of larger players like Hub, like Caroline is awesome, just like motivated and switched on, and they've got the experience from Melbourne and now Sydney. So they'll be able to come in and kind of help us, you know, just raise the profile of co-working and kind of, you know, like we still like tech stuff. So in my mind, we hang out with all the new entrants into tech co-working market. Which is awesome. But like, there's Nick Duncan who's doing that space out on the parade, which is going to be really, really cool. Like I've caught up with him. Like, he's a young chartered accountant as well, or sorry, CPA, American CPA. Like, so awesome dude. He's working with his dad on this on their business, which is just going really, really well. You know, so yeah, and like met Rob from Co-West. So yeah, met everyone. Like, things can only, like, more than happy to do it. Like, co-working, you know, like it's not office working. It's, you know, working with other people, like working independently with other people. You know, you're sitting across from someone. You know, usually people at our space are kind of plugged into the matrix, like they've got their headphones on, you know, and they're just like coding away. But if you're sitting opposite someone, like, it's inevitable that you end up chatting to them, and then like this magic happens. So like it's very difficult to leave without something cool happening. Like, it's just like, yeah, it just gets me excited to be a part of.
Yeah, and I'm not a. I've been there several times just before events and stuff, and seeing people in there chatting and also working and stuff. So I think for people looking for a space where they can go and get their business started, or sort of work harder on their business, I think it's definitely something they should check out. Where's the best place to go to find out more information about the co-working space?
With the internet. Check out
Yeah.
majorandistillery.com, MAJORAN DISTILLERY.com. Probably Google it as well. And so then that's just got like our little blog that we try and update regularly when we get time, and then pictures of it, and you know, just about the space. And if you like, but basically that's one way. Best way, just rock up, just come in, like bring your laptop, just try out co-working, meet some cool people, like just get into it.
Awesome.
Fridays is our kind of open house day. You know, just bring your laptop in the afternoon and try co-working at no cost. But really, just fucking do it whenever you got a chance. Just come and try it. So the kind of intention with our space is, like, initially we're like, if we just get a whole bunch of people together, like, that'll be awesome. But the more that it's going on, the more that we're going, like Chai and I are talking, like, oh, holy shit, like, this is awesome. You know, this space is not just about bringing people together, but it's about helping people get to the next level in their, you know, whatever they're doing. So for some people, like, the next level is just getting out of their bedroom. That's not me. That's you. Yeah.
That's so good.
For some people, the next level is just getting out of their bedroom, you know, and like meeting other people, you know, realizing you're not nuts. That's the next level, and you know, that's cool. Some people, the next level is having a dedicated space, so they'll sign up for membership, you know, and for some people, like, the next level is meeting mentors, and like investors and that sort of thing. So those people are definitely hanging around the space. Like we've got Shane Cheek in there, who's VC, like just been awesome resource for all the guys. And like since we started, we've had some kind of contact from people that are really, really like investors that are really, really keen to know what's happening in there. Like guys from SA Angels and that sort of thing. So
yeah, so it's also a great way to expand your network. It sounds like.
Yeah. So it's just like we're just getting started. Like we opened the doors in December, like for the real space. So like it's just getting started. So we can't wait. Like like startup weekend, the start of last year, like Innovise is happening. Like things are happening in Adelaide, and like it's just going to get better.
Awesome. Let's talk a little bit about the Silicon Beach meetup. Now, was this did this predate the distillery, or was this the same time, or how did this sort of fit into the whole thing?
This did predate the distillery. I guess it would be kind of the end of 2011 when I'm starting to think about like accounting sucks balls. I'm gonna do something I like computers. How do I do that? And there's this awesome resource called Silicon Beach, which is a Google group set up by some like just guns over in Sydney. Well, I think one of the dudes that set it up is now, like, he's the guy Elias that set up Startup House in Silicon Valley. So I think he's based there now. But it's basically a Google group, where you can just go post all your questions. It has awesome people from all around Australia on there. Like all the guys from Fishburners, are on there. People that have headed over to the Valley and are now building their businesses over there. Like there's Jeff McQueen is very active on there. He does this thing, awesome SaaS, Affinity Live product. And so everyone's just there helping each other out. I rocked up in 2011, just reading lots of stuff, too scared to actually say anything. But I noticed there was meetups around Sydney, Melbourne. I think Brisbane was starting one, and so I introduced myself. Hey, I'm Michael. I'm in Adelaide. Like, is there anyone else on here? And Jindu Lee put his hand up. Yep, let's meet up. So we organised that, and we had about 30 people rock up for the first one, which was really, really cool. And so Jindu as well is like a big catalyst for the Silicon Beach here in Adelaide. And then we just did a regular thing. And I'm so stoked that now we can hold them at the distillery in like a kind of dedicated space for it, have beers and, crank the barbie on our awesome balcony and just get everyone together.
Yeah, fantastic. I think the first one I came along to of Silicon Beach was maybe midway through 2012, and I think I've been to everyone since, because it's great fun, great bunch of people. It's have a few drinks. Is it usually a Thursday night? What's your schedule at the moment?
Yeah, so first Thursday of the month. So the next one is, I think it's the 7th of March. Thursday the 7th of March, I think, is the next one. And so that, awesome. Again, that'll be at our space. If the weather is, still perfect, we'll be, hanging out on our balcony. So come along. Absolutely.
I definitely recommend anyone who's interested to come along, and I'll be there. Michael will probably be there, as well as a bunch of other very interesting people. I want to sort of finish off the interview with what are some of the advantages? I mean, you've already gone through a few of them, but what are some of the opportunities and advantages that you've gained from sort of getting out there and doing these things, like the events, which mostly not really sort of self-serving, and it's more for the community, and the distillery, which is a not-for-profit, so it's not for your direct gain, profit-wise, and so it's more for the community. But what are
Yeah.
some of the benefits that you guys have gained from sort of doing this space and these events?
Well, like definitely the biggest one is just meeting a stack, like too many to name, awesome people. Like it's just really, really cool. Like we went over, so when things start to get a bit real, like Chai and I kind of go, okay, this thing's going to happen. And so I was still working full time at that time, and went off to Melbourne to check out Inspire 9 and Hub Melbourne, York Butter Factory, and so he met a stack of awesome people over there, and then like in December we both jumped on a plane and headed to Sydney and met the guys at Fish Burners, ATP Innovation House or whatever it's called, amazing place, and Blue Chili, and just all the people there are just like switched on, and they're just going for it, and just very inspiring. And then there's all the people in Adelaide that we get to meet, like we had a piece in the paper, which seems a bit mental. And like Alan Noble, who is like director of Google Australia, for anyone that doesn't know. He lives in Adelaide, but obviously flies to Sydney a lot. He contacted us, hey guys, kind of what are you guys up to? Which is, just fucking awesome. So having coffee with him is awesome. And then just all sorts of other people that are like Adelaide City Council have been really, really, really helpful. So just meeting all the people on all sorts of on the whole spectrum who want to help people, and it's just like that's inspiring. And then so that's been the biggest benefit. I guess the other benefit has been what has been the benefit? I don't know,
The experience, I guess, of doing it.
Yeah, I guess the experience as well has been another benefit. Like I get to add something on LinkedIn, that has, yay me.
Awesome.
But I struggle with the word entrepreneur. Like I don't think I'm an entrepreneur. I think I'm just nuts, and I enjoy hanging out with people, and I like to see people get together, and I like to see people working together. There's a little economy that's actually forming inside the distillery, which is really just makes me proud. Like people that were getting their graphics done by some dude, like they're now like, hey man, your shit's awesome, and they'll kind of spread work internally, which is really, really cool. So that's a huge benefit if you're thinking about joining. But for me, the biggest thing is just having something that I'm inspired by. Like when I was working full time as an accountant last year, like I was in a very dark, kind of unhappy space. So very dark.
I imagine there's a lot of people, in a job that they may not enjoy that much, and they perhaps feel like there's no way out. So, it's kind of an inspiring story, really. You're you're in this space where you didn't really enjoy it, but now you're kind of out in the wilderness. It's not all sort of, it's not a path that's set down for you that's going to guarantee riches, but it's exciting, it's interesting, and you're obviously enjoying it, and you're obviously very passionate about what you're doing. So it's a really sort of interesting story,
absolutely.
and something that someone else can hopefully draw sort of inspiration from to sort of get out of their dead end job or whatever they're doing, and do something for themselves. What does the sort of future hold for you and for the space and for the startup scene in Adelaide generally? Can you give us a few sort of thoughts on that?
Massive. Like, in brief, massive. Like, you know, Chai and I, like, William is like still full-time law, so he is like still way helpful and awesome, but he's a little bit in the background. So basically, so sorry, William. Like, you know, I don't mean to leave William out of any conversation, but you know, it's basically like it's been kind of Chai and I like doing like a lot of the just grunt work, the executive stuff. You know, William's lucky he gets to sit, you know, strategic up the top. Uh, you know, so like, what does the future hold? Like, Chai and I just want to go like full bore with the space, and we would love to get more startups in the space. Like, everyone talks about startups in Adelaide. They are out there. You know, most of the ones that are out there now, you know, are already established somewhere. You know, they're sharing office space with other startups, or they're part of Flinders Partners, you know, in some plush Flinders kind of setup. So our space is probably not suitable for them. But like things like Innovise and just general, like, the more people that are, you know, getting excited, the more shit is going to happen. And so the future is like way awesome. You know, like people are excited about what's happening in Adelaide now, and that's just going to build. You know, like Shane Cheek is trying to raise his VC funds. Like, you know, so he's a local guy, and he's you know, he's trying to raise funds for local startups. So the future for startups in Adelaide is awesome, and it won't be long before we do have some kind of like Instagram moment here in Adelaide.
Awesome.
Sure.
No, definitely. So anyone who's wanting to get into it now, so you can sort of take advantage of that growth and grow with it. I think is probably a good takeaway from this. Well, thanks very much for coming and having this interview with me, Michael. It's been really interesting chatting with you. You've been a great guest.
Thanks, Nick. I hope I didn't dribble on too much.
No, perfect.
I look forward
Now,
to meeting all your viewers at Silicon Beach, at the space. Like, seriously, just drop in. Like, let's go have a coffee. Like, only good shit can happen from it.
awesome. And we've already mentioned the Majoran Distillery website. Where can people go to connect with you? Are you on sort of social media? Where's the best place?
um, yeah, like, I am on social media. I do have a Facebook. I'm more like, because I'm a chartered accountant background, I'm kind of more into LinkedIn. I've been hanging out on LinkedIn a lot, which is really cool if you need to meet you know, meet the right people. So yeah, hit me up on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. Bit of a fan of Twitter. Not too many people in Adelaide seem to jump on the tweets.
There's quite a community of tweeters in Adelaide in the social media circles, but
Yeah.
I'll put some links in the show notes for this on our website, webmarketingadelaide.com.au, but also under the video on YouTube as well. So anyone who wants to go check out you on LinkedIn or via the social profiles, and also the Majoran Distillery website, all the links will be there. Thanks again for coming on the show, and hopefully you have a good one.
Excellent. Thanks, Nick. I'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Cheers.